Hello everyone and welcome to my solo Dungeoneering guide with the recent Jagex update. It is now possible to get upwards of 150k XP an hour at 87 Dungeoneering, which is the level I am at. If you are a lower level, it's more realistic to expect about 100k an hour. Once you start doing the floors right, it is very possible to achieve this amount of experience. At the moment, I'm going to be showcasing a furnished floor, which is not going to be the best experience. Just realize that once you start doing abandoned 2s and occults, and even warps, you're going to get much better experience than I am getting at the moment. The reason why I actually do the furnished floors is because since I do not have cosmics bound, doing C1 rushing is a huge pain. So basically, just do your C1 rushing, whether you start at abandoned 2s, whether you start at occults, whether you start at what I'm starting at and furnished, it doesn't really matter. Once you get into the whole room with the smuggler, you just want to pick up everything off the tables that's worth picking up. Don't pick up Heim crabs, but everything that's worth picking up and sell it to the smuggler and keep the food, and after that you will start making runes. When you do make your runes, you may or may not have to make cosmics. If you are above level 77 Dungeoneering, I would highly recommend to bind arrows for the Necrolord boss, because if you don't, your life will be a living hell when you get him in the occult floors, which is going to be some pretty good XP. So I'd recommend binding some arrows for Necrolord if you're above level 77. If you are not, I would recommend for you to bind Cosmics. Although if you'd rather bind a Surge Box or something like that, that is your choice. My binds are Prometheum 2H, Plate Body, and Plate Skirt for my melee loadout. For my ranged loadout, I have Grave Creeper Longbow and Stego Leather, which is the best leather armor that I could get a hold of. So anyway, you can just upgrade or downgrade according to whatever your stats are. So once you get over to the runecrafting altar, you want to make laws, astrals, if you have a 94 mage, cosmics, which are for the great stones, deaths and earths. Don't make deaths earths if you don't have 94 mage. The reason why you are going to want each of these cosmics, they are for both cures, because you can cure yourself with astrals and cosmics, and for making regular gatestones to teleport to, which will make it a lot faster to get around the map. The laws are for teleporting to the group's gatestone, since you can have 2 gatestones out at once, since you're only in a solo dungeon doing this by yourself. The deaths and earths, as well as the astrals, are for venging, which is very nice with some bosses. And I just really like having the venge runes, and it only takes a few seconds to make, so I just decided to do that every floor. So once you're ready, put down a group or a regular gatestone or a group gatestone if you'd prefer in your initial room if you have more than one door there. And then just continue on through the dungeon. There are a whole bunch of resources, and you can mine those if you wish. And I just failed on the mining, which was a bit unfortunate. But yeah, just proceed opening up doors, and as soon as you come to a place that has more than one door that you can't open, or just one door that you can't open, you want to slap down your group gatestone or your regular gatestone, depending on what you have. So you just want to continue through the dungeon as fast as you can. And once I am on the incorrect style. The style you want to be using is strength, unless you really want the defense or attack XP, but I would highly recommend training with the strength style and using the berserker ring, which will increase your damage when using the strength style. So you just want to kill all the monsters in the guardian doors, and I got kind of hit pretty hard by that ranger, which doesn't always happen. And it is very possible to get done with these dungeons in 7 minutes. I went across the streak. I think I completed 5 or 6 dungeons in a row in 7 minutes or under, which is pretty decent. Once you're doing that, you're going to get about 100k XP an hour once you start doing the abandoned 2 floors, and close to 150k once you start doing occults and warps. So I think that's pretty good XP an hour. Here's just a regular door, which you don't get all that often. You can also, it is very possible to bind a something like a hood or a blood necklace, which is very nice. I'm actually going to be binding a blood necklace as soon as I can. And look, here we go. Here's the first door we can't reach, so we're just going to put the group gatestone down there and teleport back to home base. I do apologize if I'm not doing everything as perfect as possible. When you are recording, it's a bit harder to multitask, and since I am of the male variety, multitasking is never something that we're very good at in the first place. So I'm going to be doing my best here, trying to fail as little as possible just to show you guys the correct way. And here's another 2-way door. So I'm going to kill this Forgotten Ranger and go through the Guardian door and put down my gatestone close to this door, and I will come back to this once I have cleared out the Guardian door path. Hopefully that won't be in too long. So anyway, The Promethean Plate Skirt and Promethean Plate Body, I really like this bind. It provides very nice defense for when there's more than one attack style. For example, when there's a Major and a Ranger in the room, you can pray Mage and not be too concerned with getting hit. But with the binds, you can also choose to bind a hood, although you gotta remember, once you get to the occult floors plus, a hood is not going to be terribly helpful, and it's going to be much more helpful for you to bind a plate body of some sort, because the defense is a lot nicer than the hood on the occult floors, since the hood just doesn't help out much. And here we have found our boss, which is going to be Sagittaire, which is one of my favorite bosses, and I'll show you guys how to kill him in just a minute. First I need to just unlock the door. It's very important to unlock all the doors that you can. If there's skill doors, don't worry about them. Like, if there's skill doors that you need to make potions for, don't worry about them. Just don't even bother with the skill doors. But if there are, make sure that you do open every single door that you can open, because you're not going to get very good XP unless you do. But anyway, Sagittaire is a very easy boss, so you just want to venge when you can and try to run away. Since I was caught in the venge animation, well, I thought I was going to get hit, but it looks like I didn't, which was very nice. So with Sagittaire, you just want to pray range, and as soon as he says back off arrow rain, you want to run a few squares back so you don't get hit by his arrow attack. If you do get hit by his arrow attack, it will freeze you to the spot and deal a pretty nice amount of damage. But as long as you just click a few squares back every time he says back off arrow rain, you'll be set, and this boss is very, very easy to take out. The thing is, since you are only in a solo dungeon, the bosses are going to be very easy, and although there are a few that are pretty difficult to not die, for the most part it's pretty easy to not die. And hopefully I can get some Promethean arrows. That is what I really like about this boss, is the second I can, I want to get some Promethean arrows, and then I will bind those, and those are going to be a bit more helpful. And I saw the words there, and I thought he was saying back off, but apparently he wasn't. And so you just want to take down the boss as soon as possible. Luckily I got a very easy boss, but if you get something like the Pummeler or the Rift Splitter or one of those bosses, it's going to be a little more difficult to kill them. But luckily I was blessed with a pretty easy boss this time. He is almost dead, should just be a couple more hits, and then I've completed the video. The dungeon is going to be a little longer than it should have been, because I had to pause to do something in real life really quickly, but for the most part you should be able to complete these dungeons in about 6 or 7 minutes, and if you're about the level that I am, once you start doing the abandons and warps, you're going to get between 15 and 20k XP a floor, which adds up to a pretty nice, close to or around 150k an hour. And I got 11k XP for that dungeon, and it says 8 minutes, but I realistically could have completed that in about 5.5 or 6 minutes, since there is no puzzle. If you do get a ferret room or something like that, I would recommend just leaving the dungeon if it was early in the dungeon, or you could also just choose to do the puzzle. So anyway, I'm going to continue Dungeoneering, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this can be very helpful, and I'm thinking about doing some more Dungeoneering guides, like puzzles and bosses and that sort of thing. If you're interested in that, let me know, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to Dungeoneering after this update. It's great.